Right, well, that is our player ratings for the 1-0 win against Manchester United. Let's move on and see what 5 things we did learn from the game. And first up is Spence for England. Thomas Tuchel, are you watching?
Is he watching? Because Spence had an unbelievable game. The stats read it himself. 3 out of 4 dribbles completed for Jed Spence. 7 out of 8 ground duels won. 2 key one key pass on the day as well. When it comes to the amount of tackles, 2 tackles, 2 block shots, 1 intercept, 1 clearance, and that one of the block shots as well was from that Højlund chance where he could have easily scored. 2 fouls as well, completed 2 of his 4 crosses. He also had a 91% passing accuracy as well, so didn't really give the ball away too often. I thought he was really fantastic, both on and off the ball. So hard to deal with for Man United, dribbling, and as well you got to remember he's playing on his weaker side. He usually obviously he prefers to be on the right side and usually a bigger attacking threat, but I thought on this occasion on the left was just as much of a threat, and I think he's really adjusted well to that side now, and makes you think how good he can be once he moves back to right back as well. But with England lacking left backs right now, you know, Shaw's injured, Chilwell can't play a game at the moment, he's now on loan at Palace.
He played on the weekend.
Played on the. I think he might come on. He didn't start.
Yeah, he came on.
Yeah, I think England are definitely lacking a player in that position. Maybe Spence can put his hat in the ring. I think
he definitely can. And in terms of him adjusting to the left back role, he seems to be getting better week in, week out, as he's learning the role. You know, he's learning on the job, isn't he, at left back, and he seems to be flourishing and getting better as the weeks progress. But in terms of him, can he be a left back for England? I don't see why not. I think there's 2 players that can probably get called up for England, and that is him and Lewis Skelly. I think both of them should be probably getting called up for England in the international break in March and seeing how they do. Because, yeah, I mean, who else is going to play left back? And these are 2 really good options, and 2 of them are performing out of their skin at the moment.
Absolutely. So I think Spence maybe, you know, really could have a chance. And it's mad to think about, you know, beginning of the season, even a few months ago, you know, when he wasn't playing too much. And now we're talking about him potentially having an England call up, an England shout, how things have changed for him. So delighted for him.
Yeah, Lewis Hall, people are saying in the comments as well.
Lewis Hall, yeah,
he's another one.
Got
so,
Mitchell.
Yeah, England got a few left backs sprouting out of nowhere.
Well, I think Spence is probably playing better than Hall at the moment.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it just I'm still so boggled as to why Spence never played hardly any minutes in the first half of the season. It just doesn't make sense, does it?
Well, when you see him playing now, but you got to remember, this is a player who a lot of managers he kind of fell out with, and a lot of managers he complained about his attitude problems. So maybe it was about earning trust.
Yes, I agree with you, but first of all, in pre-season he was brilliant, and all the way from pre-season up until he got his chance, and stayed consistent in saying, you know, he's doing everything right, his attitude is spot on. The loan at Genoa obviously did him the world of good, and Genoa must be kicking themselves not signing him, because he could have gone there for like 4 million or something crazy like that.
I don't think he was this good at Genoa though.
No.
Yeah, he's been. I think he's really taken up a notch.
I think what he's done at Genoa, I think it made him grow up a little bit and made him, you know, his head's screwed on now, isn't it?
Definitely seems that way.
Yeah. Number 2 is Vic and Madder's return. Great to see.
Yeah, and I think what an impact both these guys made, I think, on the pitch, not just from their performance level, which was really high. I think the leadership in terms of them talking to the younger players, walking from, helping them throughout the game. I think them stepping up in the big moments as well. Vicario making some crucial saves, which I think, you know, Kinski has struggled at times to make those kind of saves in big moments in these games. And as well, he really played with authority. He's a loud voice in that dressing room and in the team. Really great to have him back. And I think Maddison really stepped up in that midfield. And, you know, these are players. Maddison's been missing for 3 weeks. Vicario's been missing ever since we lost to City. You know, we've got to remember he probably had just had his best game in a Tottenham shirt, and we had probably had our best result in the Premier League for a long time in that game, and he got injured after that game. And I think maybe we've missed him than, you know, a lot of people give us credit for, because I know Forster's had some good games and Kinski's done well, but
Austin as well
has had some decent games. But I think we have really missed Vicario and his shot-stopping ability, and maybe as well just that leadership ability he has. And I think maybe yesterday showed that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think none of these goalkeepers you're talking about can touch Vicario at all in terms of shot stopping. So I think you definitely have a good point there. And the leadership as well, like Maddison and Vicario make 2 out of the 4 in the leadership group, right? With Romero and Sonny being the other 2. And everyone's been complaining about the lack of leadership and the leadership void in the team over the last couple of months. And, you know, Maddison's missed a big chunk or a chunk, and Vicario's not been there at all. So
And Romero's not been there at all.
and Romero's not been there at all. And basically the brunt has been on Sonny. But it's a team, right? It's a leadership group. It's not just Sonny he is the leader, he is the captain. But it's on other players as well. It's not just on him to show that signs of leadership. And when you're missing a big chunk of the leadership group and the players that can really grab you by the scruff of the neck and kind of see you through games with such a young squad, I think it makes a big difference. And I think we saw that yesterday, because Vicario yesterday was like non-stop shouting at his back four, non-stop telling players where to be and barking out the orders. And I think when you're looking at the leadership group and when you're looking at who has probably the best kind of leadership abilities, I probably think it is Vicario.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Odobert's cameo.
Yeah, and it was only, I think, 5 minutes of normal time plus 3 minutes stoppage time, I think, for Odobert. But I think he's in the little cameo he played, he did show quite a bit of that ability. In fact, he won 2 out of 3 ground duels in that time, and he also completed 2 dribbles, which was actually only Spence, I think. One sec. Only Spence completed more dribbles than Odobert did throughout the whole game, and Odobert was only on for 3 minutes. I think that goes to show you what kind of dribbling ability he does have, and I think it probably that little 5-minute cameo was really exciting, probably one of the most exciting things of the game, because he just got with the ball, ran with it, and ran into the space, and the United players couldn't catch him. And I know it was tired legs, but I think it also goes to show his quick feet, his that dribbling ability that I think we've been missing all season, which I think we brought him in for. And let's hope from now to the end of the season we can really take advantage of that. And I know it was only 5 minutes, but we haven't seen much of him, obviously, in a Tottenham shirt. And so he's come back from injury, and I think it was a little sign of things to come in that 5-minute cameo, hopefully.
It's almost like a new signing, Wilson Odobert.
Probably it really does kind of feel like it, let's be honest.
Yeah, because it's his 4th game in the Premier League. You're like, wow, like the likes of Tell, well, he's played more in cup competitions. So, I mean, like Danso and Tell have played nearly the same amount as Odobert, which is crazy to think about. But, no, he's just so nimble on the ball, isn't he? And he's like a ballerina when he gets on the ball, because you don't know which way he's going to go, left or right. And he's just able to take on his man. And I think in terms of dribbling ability and being able to just take on your man, he's probably our best winger than we've got in that aspect.
Yeah, so I think he's going to have a big part to play between now and the end of the season. And all of a sudden, we've gone from, struggling for players in the wide area. Now all of a sudden you've got Brennan back, you've got Odobert back, and now Tell's there. And all of a sudden, once if Solanke or Richarlison, or once Solanke comes back, you're going to have loads of options to choose from, and hopefully we can start to come up, we can start to pick players based on the opposition rather than who's available and who can actually get out there and play.
Yeah. Number 4 is Worth the Wait.
And that comes from the home win. It's our first home win since November. It's been 3 months. I think it's been 7 games at home.
Has it really been worth the wait?
That's the question.
No, it hasn't.
Was it worth the wait?
3 months just to get a win against a failing Man United team at
beat
home.
Man United 1-0. We beat the first treble over Man United since the 20s.
Shameless.
Well, obviously we've struggled badly at home for a number of months, and very much that we needed to stop the rot and we needed to get that win over the line at home in the league, and it's been way too long since we got it. But was it worth the wait? I'll let people decide. Did El Crapico live up to its name?
Yeah, it
probably did. It wasn't a great game of football quality-wise.
Nah, it wasn't. And I think you saw it was 2 teams low on confidence, playing against each other. I do think we were the better team on the day, and we deserved the win. But to say it's worth the wait, I mean, I hope we don't have to wait 3 months for another home win again.
Let's hope so.
But, definitely not worth the wait, because, look, I'm delighted that we won, but we should have got a lot more points on the board at home in the last 3 months, even with the injury crisis. So great to win, but definitely not worth the wait, because this has been a long time coming. But number 5 is change for Tottenham.
Yeah, and obviously this goes to the protest that happened before the game. A really great turnout for the protests against the board, which was around, somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000 people turning up to the protest, and really great coverage as well, I think, of the protests from a lot of media companies, and definitely a massive kind of change in how the protests had been approached and how they were planned, and you could see the amount of people who wanted their voices heard. And maybe it's one step in the direction of getting change, is the amount of people that turned up for this protest.
Yeah, I hope so. And like I keep saying when I talk about it, I just hope it's a building block, and hope that this can gather a bit of momentum now, and fans can really make their voices heard. By God, they really did make their voices heard yesterday. There was one point when they gathered outside the West Stand. You saw Donna Cullen scurrying in. But look, it was great to see. It was great to see the amount of people that turned up, and let's just hope that we can build on it from here. And 1,500 to 2,000 this time. Let's hope it's 2,500 to 3,000 next time, and we can just keep building, because there is a sense in the, I think more than ever before, that Daniel Levy and Enoch, we need change and we need to move on. And I think that you're seeing that in the protests, and you're seeing that in AWAYS week in, week out, really. So, and even at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, there's just a growing sense of the tide is definitely turning.